चेक करना लाइव हो रहा है कि नहीं चेक करना है। हो ही गया फिर। लाइव चल
आपके ग्रुप में नहीं है।
ठीक है, मैं अंदर ही आ रही हूँ।
It's a Delhi administration college. Still, because of these changes which is happening, waiting for that. It's to stabilize so that they have this nothing happening. There are 28 colleges which are under the Delhi government. And you are following up. These are the institutions which is part of the population that is received.
You like Buddhist flags?
If
This is from Assam. You notice the correct one because this is the one which has got the third prize.
बंद कर लो आगे आगे वो दबा दो
First rule of
वो
sustainability
नीचे
is to
arrow
align
icon.
natural forces or techniques, not try to define them. We need not protect the environment. Instead, we need to create a world where the environment does not need protection. A very warm and a bright morning to one and all assembled here. As we all know, we have gathered here to witness the biennial flagship event of Haritkur, the Environment Society, of Shahid Bhagat Singh College, University of Delhi. This is the sixth edition of the Delhi University Sustainability Forum, a biennial conference for young environmentalists launched in 2014. On this opportune occasion, I have shared
And I, Kamakshi,
welcome the august assembly of guests, scholars, dignitaries, teachers, academicians, and students with folded hands.
India possesses a rich heritage of indigenous practices that have sustained its economy, culture, and society for centuries. These traditional methods are intricately linked to the Sustainable Development Goals and play a pivotal role in shaping a sustainable future for the country. By amalgamating indigenous wisdom with contemporary strategies, India can fortify its commitment to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and lead to the path of sustainability achieved by integrating indigenous wisdom contemporary design for the world to learn from and emulate. With India's growing commitment to sustainable development through Mission Life, Haritgram has embraced the theme of this crucial national mission, which emphasizes environmentally conscious behaviors and practices for a greener future. In this spirit, our event this year centers around the theme Resilient India for a Sustainable Future, rediscovering indigenous wisdom and embracing holistic practices. The focus is on the interconnectedness of the traditional ecological knowledge, biodiversity, and the critical role of youth fostering climate resilience and sustainability.
Now, I request everyone to rise up for the University of Delhi full name. वसुधानिज कुटुंब की भावना संस्कृति सनातन आधुनिक शिक्षा पुरातन ज्ञान धारा हो असंगम देश की स्वाधीनता हित भूमिका शतकोटि वंदन निष्ठा सत्यम मंगल देव भावों का समागम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम भव्य महाविद्यालयों के परिसरों से चिर सुशोभित श्रेष्ठ गुरुजन कर रहे नित्य छात्र और छात्राएं भी सच्चरित्राचार पावन साधना संकल्प धवल वैश्विक चेतना नव क्रांति संस्कारों का उद्गम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम श्रेष्ठ सुंदर देवी विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम We also have an invocation dance beat lined up for everyone. Can I request Olivia and Shreshka to present their dance?
इसके टीम्स के नाम भेज देना मुझे पीपीटी अरेंज करना अभी भेज मैं नाम तो भेज दो
Wasn't that a mesmerizing performance? Thank you, Olivia and Shreshna. Before we proceed further, we would like to show a short video presentation about our society.
May I now request our convener and staff advisor to escort the referred guest, Mr. Ravi Singh, to the dais. We, the people of India, have all grown up hearing and believing, practicing the time-tested axiom, Atiti Devo Bhava. I request the convener of Haritgram, Ms. Jyoti Vashni, and IQSC coordinator, staff advisor of Haritgram, Dr. V.A.V. Raman, to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Ravi Singh, with a potted plant and an ambassador. I now request faculty members of Haritgram, Ms. Smita Hussain and Dr. Shikha Gupta to welcome Ms. Neha Raghav with a potted plant.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Ms. Jyoti Vashni, convener of Haritgram, to deliver her opening remarks.
Introduction. Good morning, respected Chief Guest, Mr. Ravi Singh, Secretary General, CEO of the World Wide Fund for Nature India. Honorable Principal Sir, who could not be here for this inaugural but will soon join us in subsequent sessions. Professor Arun Kumar Atri, fellow colleagues, delegates from participating schools and colleges, and our dear students. On behalf of Haritgram and Shahid Bhagat Singh College, I welcome you all to the 6th edition of DUSF, Delhi University Sustainability Forum, hosted by Haritgram, the Environment Society of Shahid Bhagat Singh College. Today, we gather under the inspiring theme, Resilient India for a Sustainable Future, rediscovering indigenous wisdom and embracing holistic practices. We are privileged to have with us Mr. Ravi Singh, Secretary General, CEO of Worldwide Fund for Nature India, as our distinguished chief guest. When Sir joined us for tea, when he just came, besides being associated with WWF for so long, we could always feel that, that saying that once a teacher, always a teacher. He was in this in Bhagat Singh College very briefly for a short time of 2 months, but we could all feel that teacher in him. He was taking so much of interest in our college, the activities, the notices put around. So a very, very warm welcome back to the college, sir. Sir's extensive work in environmental conservation serves as an inspiration for all of us. His insights will undoubtedly catalyze meaningful discussions and drive our commitment to the pressing challenges of our time. I also welcome Neha Raghav, Director, Environment Education at WWF India. Thank you, Neha, for joining us. Today's program will be in 3 key sections. We will begin with a panel discussion featuring a distinguished lineup of experts. Dr. Fauzia Tarannum, founder, Earthwise Environment and Sustainability Solutions. Mr. Chetan Agarwal, Forest and Environmental Services Analyst at the Center for Environmental Development and Research. Mr. Samar Khanna, a consultant in ecological restoration. The discussant for the day will be Mr. Lakshay Yu, Research Fellow at World Resource Institute in New Delhi, besides being an alumni of our college. Their insights, I'm sure, will facilitate a high-yielding discussion that inspires and empowers our youth to take action in environment. Following the panel, we are excited to introduce the School Student Competition, an online essay competition centered on our focal theme. This unique initiative aims to engage school students from across the country in sustainable goals, fostering early awareness and commitment to environmental issues. At this point, I also wish to take pride in mentioning that ours is a unique concept at Bhagat Singh College that we take on board school students for this course. The post-lunch session shall feature a case study presentation round by our undergraduate students on green entrepreneurship. Their innovative ideas will showcase the potential for sustainable business practices and inspire future leaders in this field. Lastly, we will conclude with National Photography Competition that celebrates the beauty of our planet while highlighting the urgent need for its protection. I'm sure that today's conference will take us further in achieving our aspiration to weave together the modern innovations with time-tested indigenous knowledge, ensuring a sustainable future for generations to come. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to an engaging and transformative day ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving ahead with the program, I now request the I2AC coordinator of the college and staff advisor of Haritgram, Dr. V.A.V. Raman, for the welcome address.
Good morning all. On behalf of the Principal Shahid Bhagat Singh College, who are actually supposed to be here to deliver the welcome remarks, but due to his preoccupation that he is in a meeting at the University of Delhi. And as the coordinator of the internal communications cell of the college and the staff advisor Aditya, today's chief guest, Mr. Ravi Singh, Madam Neha Raghav from WWF. I see one of the panelists, Mr. Samar Khanna here, and all other faculty members and dear students. Haritram, as you all saw in the video, launched 2012 on 7th September when we had the formation of this society. A student-led society has really over the last 12 years have put up a lot of different activities, and particularly its two flagship events. The first in the university in India and maybe a global where it simulates the United Nations Environment Assembly, UNIA, the Health Model UNIA. That was the fifth edition, which was held last year. And Delhi University Sustainability Forum, launched in 2014 by the Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, the then Vice Chancellor, Professor Dinesh Singh, is now holding its sixth edition this year. It's one which is there as a platform for all levels, as a youth conference at national level where you have school students participating for their conference. You have the undergraduates and the postgraduates and the research scholars at different levels. Due to a paucity of time this year, when we decided that it was going to be a one-day conference, so we still had the school students competition, and for the other educational levels, we brought them together into a panel discussion. So I hope you all will enjoy the whole day event, and even this year, this event is going to be a success with the inaugural address, which is under the new initiative of DUSF called the Sustainability Dialogues. And I think last September when I met Sir in his office, I told him that we'll start the Sustainability Dialogues with you as the inaugural speaker. Today he is there amongst us. Thank you all. And
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating words. So, we look up to your energy and positivity, inspiration and affirmative action. Now, I would like to invite our illuminators, Mr. Abhishek Rajpans, to showcase the Haritram presentation on the program theme, Resilient India for a Sustainable Future, rediscovering indigenous wisdom and embracing holistic practices, a case study of Piplanthri village.
मैं हमको जानता हूँ.
Good morning to respected Chief Guest, Mr. Ravi Singh sir, esteemed dignitaries, teachers, and all my dear friends present together. So, we have taken up a theme named as Resilient India for a Sustainable Future, rediscovering indigenous wisdom and embracing holistic practices. So, the origin of this theme is our outreach activity which we have conducted in the Piplanthri village. So, let's know about what Piplanthri village is. So in today's era, where we are fed up by listening to the news of environmental degradation and women facing the problems of domestic violence and everything, there exists a village in the southern part of Rajasthan district in Rajasthan that harmoniously practices its homegrown tradition. So what the tradition is, the villagers plant 111 trees on the birth of every girl child and 11 trees on the death of any person. It showcases the collective efforts of the community to ensure the nourishment and the care of the trees as the girls grow up. So what are the benefits of it? So benefits include a three-round approach. It's ecological, social, and economic. So how these benefits are caused, we'll let you know in the upcoming presentation slides. So what are the challenges faced by the Piplanthri village? So Piplanthri village is situated in Rajasthan district of Rajasthan, which is known for the marble excavation. So, with the increase in the demand of marble excavation, there is a decrease in the green cover. And with decrease in the green cover, it causes the wildlife to retreat to the dense forest far away. Additional problem is the dumping of the slurry in the nearby wetland has exhausted the water table to a greater extent. So, how this initiative was started in Piplanthri village? So, in 2005, the Sarpanch of the village, Sundarlal has started planting trees in the remembrance of her daughter named as Kiran. So this personal grief was converted or transformed into a community mission. So he observed that most of the people were reluctant to accept a girl child. So he took up the initiative at the village level and he got the support of the village man. So what is the concept of ecofeminism in this? So every year they record the number of girl child born in the village, and in the month of August they plant 111 trees against each girl child. So you might be wondering that how they can plant 111 trees at a time. So initially they plant 3 trees on the behalf of the daughter, their parent, mother and father, and the rest 108 plants are planted afterwards in the month of August, or they see the condition of the monsoon in the region. So they also sign an affidavit to ensure that the girls attend the school regularly. So they will take care of the trees planted in her name and not marry her before 18 years of age. So what this affidavit is about? So when the girl child is born, they fixed deposit 31,000 rupees, out of which 21,000 rupees is collected among the villagers and 10,000 rupees is asked from their parents. So they do a FD in the bank account, and when the girl child is born and on her first birthday, they give 2,500 rupees to the family. When the girl completed her grade 5 and 8, they are given 5,000 rupees. And when she successfully completes her 12th standard, they are given 35,000 rupees. So to ensure that the proper education is taking care of the girl child and they don't marry her before 18 years of age. So this is the view that on special occasions such as Raksha Bandhan, the girls tie Rakhis to the tree to symbolize how the trees protect them as their brotherhood. So there is a feeling of oneself. So indigenous wisdom, nature's lesson. So the people of Piplanthri emphasizes the importance of the indigenous knowledge systems that have sustained their community for the centuries. They have faced the problems of water scarcity, climate change, environmental degradation, but with the indigenous wisdom and indigenous knowledge, they have been able to sustain all the challenges. So what are the 3 key elements? Indigenous wisdom. So the peoples of Piplanthri have developed the sustainable ways to live with the nature, such as water harvesting, organic farming, community-centric level. So we must focus about community-centric people-first approach. The people of Piplanthri focus and practice this approach. ecological harmony. They focus on the relationship between the traditional practices and the environmental sustainability and resilience through tradition. So indigenous practices helps the community withstand the environmental problems, which is crucial for modern sustainability efforts. So what has changed or what Vikrantri teaches us? So since 2005, the villagers have successfully planted more than 250,000 trees and all are living. Means in a modern day, in a city like Delhi NCR or any other city, we see that plantation right takes place but no one takes care of it. And what it leads to the release of carbon. So it harms the nature in another way. But in Vikrantri, they assign the people and the family are assigned that they need to take care of the plant and none of the sapling dies. So the women there are taught by the experts. Let me share a case study which was shared by the son of the serpent, Rahul sir. So initially the aloe vera were planted to prevent the termites in the plants. But later on they found that aloe vera has grown in a massive amount. So why not they can reuse it or channelize the aloe vera in other ways. So they brought the experts from the outside places to train the village movement and the village men. Means they practice local subsistence method. So they prepare face cleaner, aloe vera gel, and they are sold on internet using a SHG known as Kala Parivar. So they sell it on the e-commerce website. So it helps in the generation of income. So it is economically beneficial as well. So what Vikrantri teaches us? Vikrantri is a self-reliant and self-sufficient village. How? Vikrantri is not dependent on any other outside sources to get any of the particular resources. Water conservation is practiced among them. Limited energy generation. They were waiting for some of the grants from CSR to install more solar power plants, but they were able to generate a limited amount of energy as well. Ecopreneurship. They were able to generate their own goods and sell in the aftermarket. Reclaim the wasteland. Whatever wasteland was created by the marble mines, they were able to reclaim that. And employment under the Manrega Act. Manrega Act guarantees 100 days of work to every unemployed labor. So, according to them, they used to channelize the Manrega fund to plant the tree and to take care of the plant. So, Vikrantri model has been very much famous throughout the country and it has been adopted by the state as well as the central government. So, what led to that means that Panchayat office of the Vikrantri village was converted into a training center. The reason? People from the various states of India, and not only from India, people from outside India are also coming to Vikrantri to learn their model. The students, the team of Vikram had the privilege to visit Vikrantri village on our educational field trip from January 23rd to 28th of this year. There we had the interaction with the son of the Sarpanch as well as Bhavar Singh sir. So Bhavar Singh sir is the one who takes care of all the plantation there. So there we have understood that the trees they are planting are not any invasive species. They are all native species. So they have taught us the importance that invasive species can grow faster. It will increase the green cover, but it will surely have a harmful impact on the native species. So they focuses on the invasive species. Not only this, they have also taught us the importance of the Indian knowledge system. That what are the practices that we used to practice in our old days are still relevant in today's era. And focusing on the theme or the learnings we have taken from Vikrantri village and means focusing it with the mission life, we have organized an undergraduate research aptitude on the theme ecological consequences in ancient India, life then and now. And we have received more than 50 entries from all over India. And today we are sitting here, continuing the process, and we are having the theme Resilient India for a Sustainable Future, rediscovering indigenous wisdom and embracing holistic practices. Because whatever we learn, we should embrace as well. So what are the way forward? So Harikram has transferred more than a decade promoting green activities, environmental advocacy, and rallying for a more sustainable and environmental friendly future. We all talk about green jobs, but we should focus that we can make every job green. We just need to put the green lens because it is the need of our. Climate change is reversible, and until and unless we create each and every job green, it is not possible. So along the way, the curriculum has encountered challenges as well as praise, both of which have inspired us to stay committed to our journey. So there is still a long way to go and many goals to be achieved in making our green dream a reality. So I would like to conclude by a quote: "The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep." Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you, Abhishek. Without further ado, I want to introduce our chief guest, Mr. Ravi Singh, who I am sure the audience is quite eager to listen to. Mr. Ravi Singh, Chief Executive Officer and Secretary General of WWF India since 2003, has been at the forefront of wildlife conservation and environmental sustainability for over 2 decades. In fact, he started his career as a lecturer of history in Bhagat Singh College, Delhi University, after his master's in history from St. Stephen's College in 1975. As the head of WWF India, the country's largest conservation organization, Mr. Singh participates in national fora covering biodiversity and aspects of reducing human footprint. WWF India key programs are species and landscapes, forests, freshwater and wetlands, climate change, marine, education, environmental law, policy, sustainable livelihood, and business sustainability in India. The institution is one of the key national organizations of the WWF International Network. His leadership at WWF India has resulted in landmark efforts to protect endangered species, preserve biodiversity, and promote community-driven conservation models. Mr. Singh's works has impacted some of India's most critical ecosystems, including tiger habitats, freshwater resources, and renewable energy landscapes. His commitment to fostering partnerships with governmental bodies, international organizations, and local communities has driven local communities has driven. Under his leadership, WWF India has not only led to crucial conservation projects but also engaged the next generation of environmental stewardship through education and advocacy.
As a key voice in global conservation dialogues, Mr. Singh's expertise continues to shape policy and action on climate change and sustainable living. His vision extends beyond protecting nature. He strives to build a harmonious relationship between humans and the environment, ensuring a balanced coexistence for generations to come. Sir, we are truly honored to have you in our college. Sir's presence here reflects his unwavering dedication to the cause of sustainability, and we are excited to hear his insights on shaping a greener and more sustainable future. Sir, I invite you to deliver the plenary address of the 6th Delhi University Sustainability Forum and the inaugural keynote address of Sustainability Dialogues.
for your wonderful warm welcome and for your introduction and everything that you said. The only problem is that what you say, actually, I don't think I do all the things that you say. I feel that a lot of the work that happens is because of message that is taken up ahead with people like yourselves, members of my staff, and who radiate out into different parts of the country with different levels and different subjects. And both nationally and globally, and that's actually they are the ones who are responsible for some of the work that you have said. I am very happy and proud to be here. I always feel like it's coming home. I'm particularly honored by the fact that my logo of my organization is here with yours. It's a great honor, and we feel very much part of this entire initiative. The university, as you can understand, very close to those of us who are part of it, we pass through all the work, the academy, the activity, the sports, the interaction with our faculty, with all the learning, everything that makes one as a person to go forward in life is what you learn in school and college, and I have great memories of that. I'll tell you a little bit. In 1975, I got an opportunity to serve as a lecturer in Bhagat Singh College, and our campus used to be in Govindpuri, and most of the classes were in the evening. It used to be cold, it used to be raining, and we had a wonderful group of faculty, dedicated persons, a lot of people, students who came who were sportsmen, and some of them were almost my own age group, so I related very much to them. I think L.D. Khurana Sahab, your previous principal, was a colleague. We were together in the staff. And I served in Bhagat Singh College for about a year and a half. And after that, I decided not to go into further into academics. That was my ambition. But later I changed when I found there are opportunities coming in modern media. And I joined an international bank, became a banker for close to 30 years before joining WWF. But this is where I want to serve. This is where my abiding spirit, my contribution to my country. I'd just like to say that many people that we've had here are people जो हमारे वैज्ञानिक के जाने में हो, environmentalists, leaders, opinion makers, people old, new, and experienced mostly, and a lot of them who one looks up to in terms of how they think and how they understand the complexity of this world and how they shape the opinions of people like yourselves. This is important because there's a duality between learning and teaching. This is the main issue of sustainability. I'm not going to talk about the usual themes of sustainability. I'm going to talk about some practical aspects and some thematic aspects. The very important theme is learning and teaching. Our land teaches us. This great ancient sacred land of India, this teaches us. If you go out and learn. What is the modern course that you do? Many of you will be learning economics and commerce and some of the newer sciences, computers, quantum analysis, etc. But the older disciplines like languages, history, social change, social sciences, those that also emanate, also emerge from the heritage of our country. And in one way or the other, it will woven into your life. So you are actually an ecological being. in the sense that you relate to society and also relate to your environment, and therefore understanding sustainability from that point of view is very, very important. Our land teaches us, we learn from it. We talked about the village that we made an example. And while you were talking about Plantry village, the Plantry would probably mean something to do with the people tree, and there would have been a people grove, and people is a tree on which many villages and spots are across India, not just within the main plains of India, but also in the hill states and also in the northeast. And this is something that we seem to evolve. Not many places do we have in the world where villages and areas are named after trees and animals and environmental happenings, ecological spots and things like that. But I'd like to give you another example, those of you who go to Plantry. Plantry is in Rajsamand. Rajsamand is part of the ecology of Mewar, which is Udaipur. And that has a particular kind of forest. It's a high, it's tall forest. Also has areas where you have broad leaf. It's not only arid, but it's a mix because the rain is quite high in this particular area. So you have Jaisamand, Rajsamand, Sitamata. These are very important areas of that. They are sanctuaries and yet national parks. And a little bit to the north, west of that is Kumbhalgarh. And Kumbhalgarh today is declared to be a tiger reserve. It's on its way. And it's being assessed for the area where you could then preserve the ecology in harmony without doing too many resettlements of villages, and to see whether we could recover the landscape and make it viable for our national animal. And just on the edge of Kumbhalgarh, where the land descends and it joins up later on with Mewar, joins up with Marwar. Marwar is a desert area. On the edge of that, in the shadow of Kumbhalgarh, is a village called Madri. Madri is fed by a thin stream which comes from the Kumbhalgarh mountain massifs and houses today the remnant of the largest banyan tree in Rajasthan. And it's still there. It has not been fully cared of, but it must be cared for. But area of that would be somewhere close to 1.4 kilometers. And it's broken up roots because you can see that it must have had a plastic canopy at one time. It's very old, there's a small temple there, the water flows through it. And it's full of birds. And it's revered, people come from different places, both tribal and other religions, and they come there regularly. I've been there, it's wonderful. Not far from Plantry, on the other side, you can actually go there and stand there. And all these places, why I'm saying this is that they have a great reverence for trees. Not too far down, about from Madri, about 15 kilometers, the same area, the same buffer of this, is a small temple, which is very popular for people who go there. And to the edge of the temple is a large tree. And that is one of the attractions because families go there and this tree is embedded with nails. I wish I would show you the photograph, it's in mine. I can send it to you if you're interested, but it's embedded with nails from almost from the bottom to the top, or thin hand pinches and you can hammer in nails. And the nails are actually represented to take out the evil from our times, our bodies, our surroundings. And this evil is then absorbed by the tree through this nail. So the tree takes the pain, and through this you are releasing that from your existence into this living. The tree is, I can't say it's healthy, but it's got the sap around all these thousands of nails and it's growing. It has leaves and it has fruit and it lasts. And there are so many such examples across our country. What does this have to do with sustainability? One, that our ancients understood this in a way that we cannot. They also combine two things. One is existence, tilling of land, managing the water, looking at seasons, migrations, and all that. And second thing was the spirituality that was connected with sustainability. They knew that if a tree would grow and you looked after it, it would look after you and vice versa. In the Punjab and in Haryana, I think something between 44 to 48 gurdwaras are named after trees. And there are trees which are mentioned in the Guru Granth Sahib. And there is a direct relationship between the people and nature and the ability to relate to it. But this is embedded not just in our states, I'm talking about Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, but in the Northeast, in South India, in Central India, everywhere. The problem with this issue of sustainability today is that while it is evolving, this concept is evolving. I'll tell you a little bit about the evolution of this concept. Sometimes it's difficult for you to think, but people who have studied this have been part of it. 15 years ago, sustainability was, this was a poster and many things were written. Sustainability is just one mention. Then came this entire understanding what I believe, or what is happening to our planet, what happened to our world. So the dialogue shifted to some extent in this thought and thinking that we've got to look after our water, our oceans, our forests, our soils. And the dialogue shifted from Millennium Development Goals, some of you might remember the millenniums, to SDGs. And the qualitative different change that SDGs came to, which are very difficult to implement, by the way. I mean, all those are great objectives, but we will get close to them very difficult. But the thinking was that whatever we do economically makes no sense at all. अगर आपकी धरती, आपका पानी, आपके जंगल, आपकी हवा, अगर वो बदल जाती है, क्या करेंगे? What will you do with all this business and the profit and the capital growth, all that? I'm not talking about the process of how this happens, not about just say digitization or the ability for all of us to get connected and all that. That's one part. But if you want to do economically well, if you want to do nations to go forward, you can't do this unless you're sustainable. And you can't be sustainable by one country, India alone. You have to be the whole. That is how the dialogue is changed. So now, I come to another point, which is that there are two main pillars of how we go forward. These pillars and timing is very well known. One is, like it or not, the Paris Agreement gives us a direction forward. These are our goals, these are your commitments, this is it. This is what we want to do. We are not going to get to a 2.5 reduction or 2%, 2 degree reduction or 1.5 even. But here is a goal, go for it, guys. Divided into national commitments, NDCs. Second part is the global biodiversity framework under the biodiversity COP. And this biodiversity framework is now agreed and signed by everyone to try and protect 30% of the Earth, oceans and terrestrial by 2030. So 30 by 30. Will we achieve it? India has said that we will do it. I mean, and I think we will. Because in terms of the goals, we already have 22%, 21 or 22%. And as it also includes areas in oceans and seas and also parts of sustainable agriculture, I think we have a good chance to achieve it now. But it's not possible for everyone. And then from that station, having achieved it, you can't go back. That is what one is doing. whatever it is, together with people like yourselves, my organization, my team, we have supported the progression to 2030, 30 by 30, supported from as much as we could the collation to the Paris Agreement. Of course, the prime driver, the prime achiever in this is the government of India through the negotiation processes. Supported by a lot of agencies, including Indian industry. I come to that. So these two pillars are important. This is the first time, and people are saying possibly the last, that the whole nation comes together to look at it together. We don't have globally signed agreements where they say, as we there will be other things coming. People are working towards a plastics pact to avoid not only single-use plastic but also disposal of plastic and lessening of use of plastic so to avoid polluting our land and our seas. So other areas of it. But these two are the main pillars which we heard about at least, and many other things that will go forward in this. The other thing, some of you are worried about your future, what you're going to do, looking at careers, and working hard and looking at the opportunities that you have, you will grow into places where you'll be able to take decisions, where you will do well in life, and you will have careers and have people working with you and working for you. And coming from an institution like Bhagat Singh, I'm very, very sure that you will be able to achieve a certain level and a certain level of achievement will be there in your series. As you do that, please understand, try and study the trajectory of Indian industry at this point of time. If you see the strategy 10 years ago, the word environment and sustainability did not exist. Today, it is embedded in the future strategy, existing strategy, and practices of all the large corporations of this country. It's very much there. Because associations like CII, like Fiji, are bringing this into their own strategies and saying that if you are, for instance, if you are not part of this, then make a roadmap by when you can be part of this, because climate change is on us. It's one of our biggest risks that we have. And this risk we cannot absorb only by doing small things here, growing some trees in your factory area and all that. It has to be holistic. So first you look at what you have to do by way of your footprint, whether it's water, whether it's energy, whatever. Then look at the footprint of your suppliers and your supply chain, and then look at what you can do to influence your customers and consumers. Because of people like you, sustainability is an important aspect. That products that you want to buy today and more so tomorrow have to be sustainable for you to be able to accept that this is, and everything now has the phone that you have, which has got regular usage of it, it'll have it in its literature. How they made it better, how it uses less energy, how the battery will be disposed, how the phone will be disposed, and all these things are built into these issues. And if it is not so, it will certainly be much more so tomorrow. It's for everything, whether it's for cars, whether it's for buses, whether it's for industrial goods or even consumer goods, how to dispose of it. It's going to be much more, you'll see much more of it. And to that extent, you showed a slide on Earth Hour. Earth Hour, in a way, is not only just getting us together on an action for a particular time. It's like a prayer that you do for your Earth. But it's also that you attach sustainability to actions in terms of you will be a responsible consumer. You will not waste. It may be anything. It may be food, it may be plastic, it may be the way of life that you have. And that is also sustained in this kind of spirit. I'll just talk about, I want you all to look at the national commitments that we have in DCs, which were relating to emissions as an incentive of our GDP, the non-fossil fuel based electricity that we are committed to, the additional carbon sink that we're going to have by way of regenerating, rejuvenating our forests or restoring back our degraded lands, and for taking on other actions that are not related to the normal, understanding of what you can do in industry and commerce. Now, for instance, in reduction of emissions relating to the intensity of the GDP, our target was 33% over 2005. We are currently recorded as 45% over 2000. These are estimated figures, and we need to work more on this and see how much of this is true. But in 2016, we were already at 24%. So, as your GDP grows, your intensity of emission remains very slowly, then at least your top line and bottom line effect happens. Non-fossil fuel based on electric installed capacity, our target was 40% cumulative. We are 50% cumulative at this point. How much of that electricity we are able to evacuate and use it in our daily lives, whether we use all our EVs based on solar energy, I'm not sure, but we are well in the direction where we want to go. Initial carbon sink, we are looking at between 2.5 to 3 billion tons, which is the trees, tree cover, restoration plan. We are currently 1.96 billion tons. Again, progression. It's not the country is not standing still, your country is not standing still. And lastly, it's not understood very much outside India, is promoting lifestyle for environment, which is part of the different initiatives, yoga, the way you live in your house, the Indian way of life. Gradually, this is going to become outside India as well. This is understood in a very shallow way at this point of time outside India, but not amongst us. Therefore, it's good. I would like you to integrate some of these actions, looking at initiatives and papers published on sustainability, both by my organization, particularly related to water, use of water, reuse of water, rejuvenating streams that have gone dry, protection of wetlands. And I'd like to request Raman Saab to form a cohort amongst yourselves and take you to see some of these places and see this actually happening in front. This is not an outing. It is actually education that takes place. So, rejuvenating 2 rivers systems in the Ganga basin in the district of Roorkee and Bijnor, not too far from here. The protection of a wetland called Hyderpur, which is en route. You can see that the same day and come back this way. So you don't have to spend the night. Looking at the work on the Gangetic dolphin in Hastinapur, again, a day journey. But worth seeing it. What is a river? How does it behave? When can you call it a river? The Ganga is, different levels, different flows, where it is on that side of the shore, this side of the shore, how the animals interacting, how the villages interact with the flow of water and with the wildlife. Very important. I'd like you, if you can, do a trip to a wetland in Punjab called Harike. It's the confluence of the Satluj and Beas. Not so well known. Every other place you know quite well, Bharatpur, Corbett. But this is very unique because for birds that are migratory, and this is very important, because migratory birds actually are a web of life. It's a flow of life. And it gives you an idea of what sustainability is all about, because life, unless it's sustainable for our natural species, is not going to be sustainable for you. In the migration northwards, it's the last big wetland before they cross the Pamir and the Hindu Kush. There's one small wetland in Afghanistan, very small, nothing compared to what we have here. And after that, they cross that side of the Himalaya and get into Sakhi. Harike is a combination of two rivers, Beas and Satluj, and holds great biodiversity and also provides sustainability in terms of agriculture, water, communities living around it, large areas. You have to see this. Why I'm saying this is because the moment you get out, the moment you go to the village, you ask someone, you learn certain things that you can pass on to your colleagues and everything. And this is more than sustainability. Somebody tells you that I live a sustainable lifestyle, I have sustainable lifestyle, I use less electricity, I do not waste water. That is from existing resources. When you work towards natural resources and rejuvenation, you're actually adding to the resources that are. Therefore, all of you, by the time you do one or two of these and you learn, we will learn from you. You will teach us. We cannot go to the level that you are, because yours will be better. Talking about teaching, I'd like to introduce somebody who is in a way my teacher of doing you please stand up. Introduce yourself.
I'm Samar Khanna.
So, he's the person who went out with me. I went out at his invitation. I saw Badkal Lake at Faridabad with a completely different viewpoint. What the Aravallis were, how they formed, where the water systems are. He showed me two perennial streams who are there in this part of Delhi that flow out of the source, not necessarily Badkal, but also subterranean sources. We found species that were from prehistoric era. It showed me a plant which is millions of years old. Rock formations, birds, wildlife. And where was it? It was behind the dense urban settlement of Faridabad, industrial residents, Delhi habits. And life is still there. And it's thriving. This is a place where you can go to. Jaladas, metro will be there. The only difference is that we don't have enough of it. Because we cannot, life that exists there cannot live for long the way we are in our lifestyle, because we are breaking up our land, we're breaking up the rocks, we're breaking up the Aravalli formations to be able to expand our urban footprint and our way of life. And we do not preserve what is more important to us, because this is what's going to help us in the future. And perhaps some of these messages can be taken forward by you. And not just the personal ones where a village community grows trees in the name of bird child, but also looking at protection of existing trees, root stocks of trees, and maybe protection to meet the kind of targets that we have set ourselves. I just dwell a little bit on this issue of indigenous wisdom. I'm privileged to know through the work of my organization, to be exposed to it across the country in different parts of the landscapes, different biologies, biospheres, different ecologies. The Brahmaputra Basin, northeast, the richest parts of India in terms of biodiversity. The desert regions of Gujarat, Rajasthan, the Nilgiris, Central India. Everywhere, whether people are directly connected to this or not, they have a source of wisdom that is theirs and unique. And this source of wisdom is hundreds of years old. Some of them are thousands of years old in terms of practices. And if they continue to get their areas intact and then people to follow a way of life that they have, it does not take us very much to give that provision. This wisdom remains with us. And this asset, this property, whatever new terminology you might use, remains in our country. And over a period of time, we can disseminate it to different parts of the world. So I'll end with 2 points. One is sustainability as a strategic pillar is there in number of leading institutions of India. You see it in your own mission of Shaheed Bhagat Singh College. Several people talk about it. Most importantly, we also practice Indian industry. In this, the number of initiatives that's undertaking is second to none in the world, and is actually much more progressive, and it has many more actions that they actually market themselves. India doesn't market itself well, and I've seen this very closely, that the number of actions the industry, the small companies, the MSC, SME sector, all those are undertaking is beyond understanding of this. That's number one. Number two, that while we are well on our way in this particular area, we can show much more leadership in India, both from the traditional way and the new way. And here I'd like to leave a message with you, is that you must go out and learn more on this aspect. There is no country like India in the world, as far as this is concerned, in terms of understanding, practice, and leadership. We have a little bit further to go to let the world recognize us much more than what we have today. But that's not difficult now. Maybe the next dialogue that we see 5 years from now, 10 years from now, will take the sustainability and indigenous wisdom to a completely different scale altogether. And I would like you to be in when that happens. Thank you very much.
So, a mere thank you is not enough for all the immeasurable wealth of knowledge, experience, and motivation that you have delivered to the assembly. On behalf of the youth audience assembled here, I can say with certainty that the brave hearts among us stand motivated to take up the spirit of sustainability and environmentally responsible actions. Thank you very much for the invigorated address.
Now, I request IQSC Coordinator and Staff Advisor of Curriculum, Dr. V.A.B. Raman, and Student Coordinator of this flagship event, Parth Gupta and Gaurav Kondania, to present a small token of gratitude and a token of remembrance of this day, that is the birth of Shaheed-e-Azam Sardar Bhagat Singh, and a painting to our chief guest, Mr. Ravi Singh. Sir, we offer this to you
you for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Now, as we draw towards the end of the program, I request Dr. Komal Agarwal, the co-convener of Health Club, to deliver the formal vote of thanks.
Standing here and speaking after sir is really difficult because I'm still valuing in a range of thoughts that sir has generated in me and I'm sure all of us. But I'm required to do the needful. So, as you would all know, we are all assembled here for the 6th edition of the Delhi University Sustainability Forum on a theme that is increasingly becoming more and more important for all of us as every day passes. So the focal theme that we've chosen in continuation to a couple of other action programs that we've taken up recently is Resilient India for a Sustainable Future, Rediscovering Indigenous Wisdom and Embracing Holistic Practices. So first of all, I would really want to extend a very, very warm note of gratitude to Mr. Ravi Singh, who has accepted our invitation and come here on what I would like to call his own home turf. Thank you so very much, sir. Through your address, you beautifully tied up the past, present, and also showed us the way for the future ahead. In a lot of meetings on the issue of environment and climate action and climate change, over the past few years, we've moved towards a more affirmative, a more positive note. But usually, we tend to discuss problems more than solutions. You've shown us a lot of solutions. You've given us a lot of examples. You've given us a lot of ideas for our subsequent field visits. So thank you so much, sir. And also you've shown us how to redefine happiness and development. How to redefine what's important, what is doable, what can be done away with, in a nutshell. Basically, how to redefine sustainability. It's not a big term out there. It's something that we can practice in our day-to-day lives by instituting the smallest of changes. And sir, I can assure you that we at Haritram and Shahid Bhagat Singh College, we take every step forward to ensure that we have made this a zero-waste campus. And our students are learning from us, They are the messengers of hope. They are the ones who are taking this in their future lives with them. And also talking about indigenous wisdom and how this is going to be an important pillar. Also mission life, how beautifully sir tied up everything on this closing note. That it's only with the knowledge of the past and probably a reinforcement of the past that we can move ahead towards a sustainable future. So thank you so much, sir. Before I end thanking you, there's one small thing that I would like to mention. So, as part of the Piplanki field visit, we also started our field visit with Ranakpur, which is an extension of the Kumbhalgarh National Park. And we were staying inside the Ranakpur temple premises, and there was no phone network there. So, some of us who made phone calls to our homes was from the landline there. And I can assure you, we were a delegation of 24 students and 4 teachers. None of us, absolutely none of us missed our phones or Instagrams or live posting from the webinar. And the students came to us and said, "Ma'am, this is so peaceful here. Why do we need to go back to Delhi?" We did visit the Kumbhalgarh National Park also. So it was a beautiful life lesson. As you said, life is the biggest lesson. And I hope everybody understands the significance of it. So thank you so very much. Also, Ms. Neha Raghav, I finally get to meet you. Heard so much about you. Thank you so much for sparing time out from a busy schedule and joining us. I would also like to thank the delegates of the Harikram Youth Summit and the School Students Conference. I can see some students seated at the back, they've already arrived. So thank you for joining us. Our panelists and jury members, some of them who've already arrived, some of them who are on their way. This is a forum which is meant for different stakeholders to come on the same platform, especially students from different educational levels, to dialogue sustainability. So it's only with the collective efforts of all the people who have come to our institution from outside and all the members of our institution, most noticeably our principal sir, Professor Arun Kumar Atri. He has been a beacon of hope for all of us here in the institution, and he is just so very supportive towards all the initiatives of Harikram. So on behalf of the Harikram fraternity, I thank him for all the support he has extended us. Our faculty members, my colleagues, my dear students who patiently sat through the entire session, thank you very much. And also, no program can be successful without a lot of technical support from the non-teaching fraternity of the college. So I thank you so very much, and I look ahead to seeing a lot of you in the next session as well. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now let's all rise up for the national anthem.
Jana Gana